Smooth 98.1. Welcome to Business Express on a Tuesday morning, and it is brought to you by Nairametrics, which means we're going to have a pretty interesting conversation and a robust one as Rotus and I are joined today by Samuel Oyekanmi, who's a macroeconomics analyst with Nairametrics. Good morning, Samuel. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right. Hi, Rotus.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Chopper. Good morning, Samuel. Good morning, all our listeners and viewers. Good to be with you guys.
Yes, to our viewers up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. Make sure you get in and join the conversation by just leaving your comments up on the live stream. To everybody who's listening to us, guess what? You have different platforms to join us on. You can send WhatsApp messages into 0809 444 981. You can also tweet at us. We are at smooth981FM. And if you want to continue the conversation, keep it going with at Rotanquote and at Nairametrics. Okay, so today, up for discussion, we're going to be talking about the Oronsaye reports, which we had touched on yesterday, Rotus, and then you gave us this thrill of anticipation when you were like, okay, we're going to really delve deep into it today. So we're ready.
Yes. So, I mean, it's just, look, I guess we can just jump into it because it was at the tail end of yesterday's show. So, look, Samuel, the first question I have for you is whether, and just for our listeners, they've inaugurated another committee that is supposed to review the white paper of the last committee, which was supposed to be on the Oronsaye report that talked about reducing the number of ministries, departments, of agencies, and so on and so forth. And then I just found out that the House of Reps, the end of June, Thursday or Wednesday, they've opened a probe into the number of duplicated ministries, departments, and agencies. So it's all just, Samuel, should we be insulted that these new committees are being inaugurated again and again and again? What's your take on the continued creation?
Rotus, insult might probably be like a very deep word, but I think by now in Nigeria, we probably will be used to a lot of these recurrent meetings and committees over and over again over very trivial issues that are supposed to be addressed at a go. You just find out that they just look for more reasons to stretch them ahead 2, 3 years, 4 years, and the whole administration is gone. At the end of the day, nothing is being done. And this is exactly what you're seeing playing out right now, because I don't see a reason why a committee that had been set up earlier in the year and had come out with some recommendations, and you still have to set up another committee from the same National Assembly in order to go and probe, or in fact, in order to go ahead to review some of those recommendations. After that, again, you're also probing the same process. It's quite funny anyways. Nigerian government, we are always used to wastage to a large extent, and that's why Nigerians have been clamoring over and over again that our government expenditure is just quite expensive. We have so many people resting in the House of Representatives and in the Senate House, more or less doing nothing, and at least this is what they do. This is how they just.
So Samuel, for me, there's just a little, in fact, a lot of the hints. In fact, the hint is really a giant hammer that's hitting me over the head when we talk about a committee, because committees cost money, being raised to discuss issues of bloat, and bloat is wastage of money as well. How many committees do we need to make anything go? Is this just turning into a joke that nobody can answer?
I wonder, seriously. They just like repeating the same process over and over again, wasting unnecessary resources. And that's the problem. This our system of government, and compiled with a lot of corrupt practices, has just ensured that they want to give us reason why they justify their work. So they just keep on coming up with different committees and different inaugurations, just to ensure that they say, oh yeah, we're working on this bill, we're working on this. But honestly, it does not really require that much. The essence of having a singular payroll system that you introduced some years back is to eliminate some of this ghost working issues. And today, again, we are still back here trying to review duplication of ministries. At this point, you should know, because each of these ministries bring their reports to you. these agencies bring their reports to you, these departments bring their reports to you. From there, you should have been able to know some of these departments that have overlapping duties. If you're talking about the Minister of, probably Ministry of Finance, and maybe some department in the Ministry of the Accountant General Office, if there is any form of overlapping duties, it's very direct to know. You don't have to come up with meetings and over again just to let us know that you're working on. At the end of the day, it's still probably going to drag to the end of the year. Honestly, this is Nigeria.
You mentioned, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, when it comes to the timing of this, the fact that this is obviously an outgoing administration, how does this factor into that, or how does that factor into this?
Okay, I was telling a friend earlier, I think last week, that it's as if this administration has closed shop and is just trying to wait for the next administration to take over. And he was telling me, like, it's like the government is quite confused or something, they don't even know what to do. So the thing is, this House of Representatives or this National Assembly as a whole, I think they've been good for right now is everything they've been trying to do is to try and raise revenue from the same set of brackets. We saw them introduce some new tax laws on the company's profitability. I think about 2 weeks they introduced another one again. I think they're just trying to stifle development, growth in the economy, whereas we have some other better innovations that you could do. If you want to really minimize your costs, your spending, because you know there's no revenue, why not first cut down your expenses? You as a government office, not the civil service. I mean, public service. The House of Representatives, the National Assembly, the amount that is being allocated to that place is quite massive. In fact, right now, the 2022 budget has at least 40% directed to just salary in a country that we can hardly raise 10 trillion naira as revenue as a whole in the whole year. And we have over 200 million people. That's just quite alarming. For the government part, really, I think they probably could close shop for the year, or for the administration anyways.
What about the unemployment problem? And I know a lot of people say this, I've said it myself, government is too bloated, it's too big, cut it down. But then people don't have jobs in this country. I guess, how would you handle the fallout to say that you have to cut the size of government, which means a lot of these people are going to lose their jobs? It sounds very tricky. How do you manage that?
Okay, so I don't think they are going to sack people. They won't, because I don't even think they have the spine to do that. They are always after doing the very popular things. They definitely will not do that. And then we seem to be practicing some form of a socialist system in Nigeria. We do not want to take the bull by the horn. So it's just going to be a form of maybe merging. At the end of the day, they might not be saving any cost in terms of actual salary payment, because right now unemployment is over 33%, and that is what we know from 2020. Right now, we might even have gone over 40% if possible, because we had a lot of tech firms are already laying off people because of the downturn in the market. So yeah, I don't think they are going to sack anybody. They're just probably going to merge functions. And at the end of the day, it brings us back to the fact that it's as if you are wasting time on something that is not really going to change anything. Because at the end of the day, if you do that proratively, you might just be saving yourself about maybe about 10 or 100 billion naira in a year. That's compared to a budget of over 17 trillion naira. That does nothing. We saw reports of the federal government a week ago saying that they've been able to remove about 70,000 ghost workers, and they've been able to save about 220 billion. Trust me, 220 billion in Nigerian economy per capita is really nothing. So do things, cut those stuff that would actually reduce our expenditure or improve our revenue, but not try and strangle companies that are trying to ensure that the economy grows, basically.
Okay, we got this message in from Cisco Delgado, who is not having a good time right now when it comes to this committee. He says this present administration is known to set up committees to embezzle funds without meaningful achievements, in his opinion. We got this one in from Oyekanmi, who says, like Samuel noted, this government has closed shop, and I agree with him. The government must bring policies that will expand the economy and enable jobs. Sacking people will just worsen the problem. That's what Wenga says.
Well, what do you do? Samuel, let's quickly touch on the stock markets. We saw a drop yesterday. I think we lost market cap was about 20 billion. Market declined by 0.7%, I think. Can we attribute it to profit taking? What would you say? How would you characterize what we saw in the market yesterday?
Okay, so the Nigerian stock markets really did well from the first half of the year. More or less one of the best performance exchanges in the world. And that was really characterized by the downturn in other markets. So a lot of money came into the local market, into Nigerian local market. But right now, we are seeing a shift because, of course, the CBN raised interest rates in May. And that means that a lot of people are more cautious with their spending. The US Fed has also been very, very particular about raising interest rate at a significant level. So of course, everybody's quite cautious about spending their money and about investing in some investment portfolios. And that's the same thing that's already playing out in the Nigerian stock market. Really, right now, a lot of people are cautious, and that's why they're trying to sell off, take profit in some of those stocks that they feel might be overvalued, and towards the tail of the year might just do that. So you might actually be seeing a lot of the stocks that probably are not dividend paying stocks begin to now go down. We've seen the banking stocks, surprisingly, on my own opinion, I would have expected that whenever there's a raise in interest rate, banking stocks should do well, but it's really not happening. You really cannot know the mind of investors. It's quite up and down. They're quite sentimental. So really, it boils down to the movement of money in the world, and a lot of people are trying to be cautious. Will the stock market be able to give you returns that is higher than inflationary rates right now? No, not really. Treasury bills are already having higher interest rate right now. People will probably want to move their funds towards those safe haven assets and probably secure their money, at least. Even if I'm getting a negative real yield, at least my money is not lost, rather than put my money somewhere that a little whatever could just tank my funds. So really, that's what we're saying. A lot of people trying to take profit.
All right, then, Samuel. So thank you so much for joining us for today's episode of Business Express. And, it was brought to you by Nairametrics. And so you can continue the conversation. I've already said you can follow them, Nairametrics, on Twitter, across all social media platforms. They are at Nairametrics. And also you can subscribe to their premium newsletter, Stock Select Newsletter. It's a weekly stock guide written by Ugodre on local and international best performing stocks to guide investors on what to buy, sell, and hold. And guess what? We're offering a 30% discount to all the subscribers from Business Express. Yay! So all you need to do is visit ss.nairametrics.com/coupon and enter the promo code SmoothFM to get your discount. Yes. And you can also find Rotus. He's at Rotanquote, and we are at Smooth981FM. All right, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Lots of eye-opening information regarding committees and everything else. And so, Samuel, we'll look forward to having you on Business Express another time. All right?